Hello everyone, as most of you guys know, I'm your no-brained ice cream, but you can call me Noor instead. I post all types of murder drone content, like theories, character analysis, and all these kind of things. And for the topic I chose to discuss about today is Khan, and I'm going to do a character analysis of him. I will be breaking down and analyzing the life he had with Nori, how the relationship fell apart, and what I really want to happen with Khan, especially in episode 7 of Murder Drones, even if it means he won't be as much as a big character as I am portraying him right now. Now, I know that most people throughout the Murder Drones fandom don't really enjoy Khan's presence, but I do. I like how he's changing not only as a character, but a father.
See? What are you doing? Be safe, okay?
Now, after episode 1, I think we all viewed Khan as a coward. And well, he is. He left his daughter to die and could have saved his wife, and in fact admitted that he's not either of what Uzi or Nori needed, as both a parental figure and a husband to be depended on.
Turns out, I'm not who either of you needed.
Khan and Nori's relationship was pretty strong, especially at the end being near the Copper 9 core collapse, and when Nori gave birth to Uzi, or well, when she had her as a baby. But even after all that, it took time for Khan to get along with Nori. It was a type of relationship where Khan loved Nori too late, which made him regret not loving her sooner, and Nori dies early after they fall in love. As you can tell, it was a 50-50 at the beginning, but as time went on, they slowly grew a very close relationship, to the point they even had a family. 89% of the time, I hear this question roaming around the Murder Drones fandom. The question being, how did Nori fall in love with Khan out of all people? Khan only cares about the doors, and he's a coward. Meanwhile, Nori has a full-on rebellious personality. Now, what if I told you that it was the complete opposite of what we all thought? I mean, everyone always assumes that Khan was always a person who's in love with doors. Spoiler alert, it was actually Nori who told him to build the doors.
She was always all, build doors against the coming sky demons. The singularity awakens. Look at this cool ass I can draw. Turns out, I'm not who either of you needed. Just be safe. Okay?
So, if Nori told Khan to build the doors against the upcoming disassembly drones, and as he says that he's not the person that Nori needed, this makes me realize he didn't listen to Nori, and back then, he didn't build the doors of when she asked of him. At first, I used to question why, but as I kept researching and re-watching Murder Drones on and on, more answers just kept coming to me. I know this sounds crazy, but Khan used to be a rebel. But ever since Nori stepped into his life, he grew a soft spot and began to change into a better and more joyful person, and one who wasn't so serious all the time. This scene proves that Khan used to be one hell of a rebellious person, one that used to be an exact version of Uzi. He was basically a copy of Uzi. Like, sometimes I'm like, what the hell? So, Uzi got his personality from Khan. Okay.
Mr. Doorman, your daughter has been absent.
Yes. On that kill all humans kick, like when I was younger. Grounded herself and all that.
So, Khan used to not be a coward and actually have this serious type of a personality?
And, sir, there's been an...
Parenting, do you? I left her for dead once. It sounds like she's bored in your class and the other kids suck. Call her damaged again and I will install a door on your face!
Where are your folks?
Khan is honestly a character who's way more than what meets the eye. Throughout the Murder Drone Season 1 teaser posted by Glitch Productions, we see Khan's very own concept art. Not only is he holding a literal gun, he seems to also have a scar. The only time we saw a scar like that was in episode 4 when V was scratching Uzi's screen with her claw. This means that Khan had been in contact with other murder drones before. And from what it seems like, he used to be a professional with these types of weapons. So I'm honestly gonna assume that he was a hunter back then, but he didn't build the doors because he thought he could take on the disassembly drones by himself and promised Nori that he would take whatever it is to fight for her. Nori was the type of person who wanted to protect her family and her people. She cares very deeply about Khan, and when she had Uzi as a baby, all she wanted was the best for her daughter. However, when the Solver entered Nori and Khan's life, everything seemed to fall apart. There was this one scene which really caught my attention, and it was in Murder Drones episode 3. It's the scene where Khan is just laying against Nori's door and is just in the zone, thinking about all the memories they had together, and he just has that "I miss you so much" and "I wish you were here" expression on his face. There was also another scene that honestly broke my heart into a million pieces, and it was in episode 4, Cabin Fever, where Khan is just talking a bit about Nori to Uzi. And if you pause this exact scene and zoom in onto one of the boxes in the corner, it says "a happy family" before Nori went kooky and insane. When Nori started to attain her Absolute Solver powers, she began to take her powers for granted and started becoming smug and a bit egoistic. In this clip, we see in episode 6 is a picture of Nori using her solver powers confidently, like she has no problem, and Yeva in the corner has her eyes closed and all badly hurt. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's Alice in the corner before she had her antlers, and I'm guessing Nori killed her. Above Nori, we see some codes written on the top, and as decoded, it says "no." From what I'm guessing, Yeva tried to warn Nori about the solver being a dangerous threat, but Nori didn't listen to her. At first, what seemed like a miracle of having the power that can break the laws of physics slowly unraveled itself to be a curse that you can't escape out of. There were times Nori couldn't control herself. When Nori would go home, Khan would just be heavily concerned about her. He saw all the drawings of what Nori made and also saw what used to be a happy, energetic, and fun woman is now turning into someone he never thought about before. When the disassembly drones came, it was too late. The person Khan loved and wanted to spend the rest of his life with was just gone, and there was sadly nothing he could do about it. Ever since that incident, Khan started building the doors that Nori asked of before. He continued her legacy of what she wanted. However, there's one minor problem. Khan can't get over the past. He's stuck in it. He's so focused on the concept of building doors and continuing Nori's legacy that he completely forgot what he's truly supposed to do, and that is being a good father towards Uzi. He is so lost in fame and being in the newspapers all the time, it's like he forgot his own personality completely. And the worst part is, he's trying to change, but can't see this as a new beginning. I really hope if Nori still is alive, she would somehow reunite with her family to something it was before, a happy family, an emotionally stable family, even if it means that it might have a harsh start once they all meet up. However, it may have a chance to turn out well at the end. I really hope that Liam would put Khan in episode 7 and 8, growing a strong bond with Uzi. I feel like that's what we actually need throughout the Murder Drone series. It's for Khan to get some character development and Uzi to realize that Khan isn't truly a bad person. Additionally, I also hope that in episode 7, Uzi would somehow find revelations or receive them from someone or something on how Khan was before he turned into a coward, and before how everything fell apart between Khan and Nori. Not gonna lie, I feel like in a way, Khan won't stay as a static character. Static character being a character who doesn't change or evolve throughout the series, Because if he was a serious character and is now soft, I think in a way his rebellious and disciplined personality can return. If this happens, he would become the type of father who would care about Uzi and help her out like an actual parental figure. I don't know about you, but in a small way, I see the relationship of Moana and her father very similar to Khan and Uzi. Moana's father was a conflict throughout Moana's journey. His fear of the ocean was going against Moana's will to go past the reef to restore the heart of Te Fiti. However, Moana's father isn't a bad person, but the fear he had about how his friend died because of the ocean, he laid all these shit and problems towards Moana and doesn't let her go past the reef, even though he himself was just like Moana in the past, ready to explore the ocean and sail beyond the sea. This is basically Uzi's situation. Although Khan himself was just as rebellious and as brave as Uzi before, he just didn't want Uzi to end up like him. He didn't want Uzi to let her ego get in the way of her, for her wanting to fight for her, to end up thinking she will always win superior to others. He doesn't want Uzi to lose someone she loves by her thinking she can handle every situation alone. The fear Khan held after Nori's death, because of the three disassembly drones, one of them being N, needs to perish because this is a part of the main conflict. Yes, I know what you're about to say, but hear me out. This one is real. The absolute solver is the main antagonist, not the main conflict, but can cause something to be a part of the main conflict. Also, one last thing before I leave. Episode 7 is going to be the climax of the Murder Drone series. Climax is the main point of the story where the main conflict should be resolved, but is also the point with the highest tension throughout the story, which, as Glitch Productions has admitted, that episode 7 is going to be huge. Hope you guys enjoyed my character analysis. Sorry if it was short.